Hello everybody, Dominican Baby Bruja here, back with yet another video for you all. As you guys may know from my recent videos, I did pick up 5 new decks within the last month or so, and I haven't gotten a chance to cleanse all of them, so I wanted to just go through my process of how I cleanse and charge my tarot decks and oracle decks with you all. Now let's get started with the video. As you guys can see, I have my crystals on top, and I will let you guys know why I do that in a second. But let's go over first some methods of cleansing your decks, or quick cleanses in between readings. So if you're a tarot reader who does many readings in a day or in the span of a week or so, there are 2 methods that you can use to cleanse your deck in a pinch. The first being the tap method. So essentially you grab your deck and you just literally pound it on a surface because you're trying to knock out the negative energy that's in the deck. Some people do that like as they're shuffling, so they'll kind of do a shuffle. Maybe the mini tarot is not a great one to pick for this, and then they'll just tap out the negative energy there. Another method is the blow method. So literally, it's exactly what it sounds like. You're gonna take the cards and you're gonna blow on them. Like as you're shuffling, you're gonna blow them, blow away any negative energies, any toxic energies, anything that isn't supposed to be there. Some people do it when they're shuffling this way. I personally do not bend my cards. That's just me. If you bend your cards, all power to you, but I like my cards to stay the way that, you know, they came. I like to just take care of my stuff, and I just feel like bending your cards just will deteriorate them over time, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, so those are 2 methods of cleansing your deck in a pinch. Now, 2 other methods that you can use to cleanse your deck are the salt method and the sage or incense method. So the salt method is when you take some salt, preferably sea salt because it's the most natural and pure salt. You're going to literally put salt in a bowl and you're going to submerge your deck in the bowl. So you're going to have salt underneath the cards, around the cards, and on top of the cards. And you want to leave those cards submerged in that salt for at least an hour or up to 24 hours, depending on how thorough of a cleanse you want to do. The next method is the sage or smudge stick method, or you can even use incense. I have sage incense if you want to use that. I have frankincense here, just whatever you think is a nice cleansing smoke. I prefer saging my deck or using a sage incense. So you literally just burn your sage, your smudge stick. I'm not going to actually do it right now because this is just for educational purposes, but you're going to run the smoke on top of the deck, underneath the deck, sides of the deck. And what I even do is cut the deck kind of like this and cleanse it. And I'll even kind of do something where I cut different parts of the deck, and I'll put the sage in there, some cards, sage in there, some cards, sage in there, some cards. Or as I'm shuffling, I'll do a few shuffles and then sage, a few shuffles and then sage. But it's really up to you. Just make sure that you give them a nice thorough cleanse, preferably with a smudge stick. I get mine at a Native American reservation that's by my house, so these are consecrated and blessed. Now that we've gone over some ways to cleanse your deck in terms of smudging or salt or just basic methods, some other methods people use that I don't really use for cleansing, I use more for charging, is to put your cards in the sun or the moonlight. So essentially when you're getting an unusually high amount of negative reads, unusually high confusing reads, like when you're reading cards it just doesn't make sense or it's just really negative for no reason, what you can go ahead and do is put your cards literally in the light of the sun or in the light of the moon. So what they suggest is if you're having very negative readings, that you put your cards in the sun, because the sun is very positive, very illuminating, just bright light energy. And then the moonlight is very good for when you're getting very confusing reads, your clarity is not there, etc. You'd put it in the moonlight because the moon is very illuminating. And some crystals you can use to amplify this are selenite, crystal quartz. I have my pure crystal quartz, but this is just my riverbed crystal quartz, and amethyst. Amethyst is very, very good for connecting with intuition, and crystal quartz is just good to cut out any negative energy, just to put in positive energy and just filter out any energies that just shouldn't be there. And then selenite is very, very good to connect with spirit guides. So you can put any or all of these crystals on one tarot deck to cleanse it in either the moon or the sunlight. Or if you don't have any crystals, you can just put it in the light of the sun or the moon. That being said, if you live in a humid environment, if you live in a rainy environment, just use your common sense. You don't have to do this method of cleansing. You don't have to do it in the sun or in the moon. You can use any of the other methods if you live in a climate or an environment that's not very good for your cards to be outside for long periods of time. Now, in terms of charging your deck, some things you can do are leave them out in the full moon. So every single month on the full moon, I leave my cards out. Some people will just leave the cards out, or they'll put one of those 3 stones that I mentioned. But me, myself, since I have so many crystals, and I recharge them into the full moon anyway, as I'm recharging my crystals, I'm also recharging my tarot. So I'll put all of my crystals on or around my tarot decks, physically on top or just around them, surrounding them, etc. Oops, just lost one there, right here. And I will let the crystals charge my decks as they're recharging themselves. So that's just what I like to do on a monthly basis. Another thing that you could definitely do to charge the cards with your energy is to simply play with them, like just shuffle them. So just get your energy in your cards, get to know your deck, feel the energy of your deck, just like open communication of energy when you first receive your deck, when you're shuffling through it. That's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is sleep with your deck. Sleep with your deck under your bed. So when you're sleeping and you're dreaming, your subconscious is awake, your intuition is awake. So you are connecting your tarot deck to that subconscious level of your mind and your intuition, and to kind of just get your tarot charged with your energy that way. Now, those are some really, really quick tips and tricks on how to cleanse and charge your tarot decks. My personal favorites, I would say, are sage smudging, and when charging, I like to just use all of my crystals and charge my tarot with all of my crystals in the moonlight. Those are my personal favorites, but let me know if you guys have any other suggestions or ways that you like to cleanse or charge your decks in the comment section below. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and have an excellent day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.